go.
But you have to make everybody and family happy too. You cannot just sit and read. You have to make sure everybody
No,
are
okay,
happy.
but
The reading is good, but you have to
they can be
provide
happy.
the food for the family and make everybody
Okay, they can
relax.
provide.
I cannot go home and read the Torah, say God give it to you.
They can provide. Well, you could, but okay, but we'll leave it for that. We'll leave it for a different day. Anyhow, so this idea is that I received more than I got. I should have only been getting $10 even. Hashem, I would have been happy. $10, but Hashem, you gave me $1,000. Wow, I'm speechless. Speechless. No, I'm just saying, right? Okay, so this perspective, where does this perspective come from? It only comes if you have no ego. If you have an ego, well, Hashem, $1,000, Hashem, all the mitzvot that I did for you. This is the chesed you come to do to me. This is disrespectful.
I deserve this ticket.
Right. Oh, right. As a person he goes to do a mitzvah, all of a sudden he has a ticket. Hey, what happened here? He goes to do Bikur Cholim, he goes back to the car, flat tire. What happened? Hashem, I just did the mitzvah. Like literally, like if you told me I would have done like 5 minutes ago, and then I just literally finished doing a mitzvah, and I come back and come on. Wow, because he feels he earned something. The level of a Yehudi, I didn't earn anything. Who am I? Again, this goes back to ma and me. Ma is like, what am I? Ma nachnu, ma chayinu. Ma, what am I? Nothing. Ma. Me, and it's the English word, me, right? Not in Hebrew. Me is me. Oh, me. Oh, me. I. So it's ego versus the humility. And the more the humility comes down, the more the ego goes up. The more the ego goes down, the more humility goes up. And if a person travels into Torah with this perspective, Hashem says, to you, I'm going to allow you to do, not only to learn Torah, but to be mechadesh, to find new ideas in the Torah. All of a sudden, he's going to take from this book, and he's going to take from this book, and he's going to say, wow, look how amazing Torah is. And he's going to find new things in Torah, and a new thing, and a new idea, and a new idea, and a new idea. And he's going to add to the Torah. Not to the laws. He's not adding to the laws. He's adding to the beauty. And that's why the idea of Hod, what's Hod translated in English? Right? Hod is like, wow. It's the valor. It's the beautifulness.
Awesome.
Hod. Awesome. Hod.
Awesome should be awesome.
Right. Why is it so beautiful?
Awesome.
And what makes it so beautiful? Because God said, you know what made it so beautiful? Because you, my children, are in a relationship with me. Look, he says, I gave you Torah shebechtav, but you made Torah sheba'al peh. Torah sheba'al peh is like the Gemara. It means Torah that we speak by heart. It's like the Gemara. All this is called Torah sheba'al peh. All this, Ramchal, is Torah sheba'al peh. It's not in Torah. It's not in the books. If you look in the 5 books of Moses, right, that's what he got from God, directly. Everything else is things that the rabbis said, God, we love you so much, we want to add to the love. We love you so much, we want to explain to other people how to love you. We want to get this idea of loving you and loving you and loving you out there.
When you read the Torah, how you can see the things?
How do you see all this?
You don't have a connection outside to experience it. How you can see it is right or wrong?
Because
I know, but
they told us.
You have to see it too. You cannot just read it without a.
So,
he's
all that's
saying
my
you're
days.
not gonna, if I tell you there's a hole, and if you fall in the hole, if you go, you don't need to experience falling into the hole.
So here, I have for you here. I have an answer for you from chapter 3. So listen, in chapter 3, there's an idea that we wrote about Chesed Hashem that he gave us. I think this makes sense based on what the Ramchal was writing in chapter 3, also about Zihirut. Think about a maze. We're all living in a maze, and we're trying to get to the end of the maze. We're trying, and many years we're trying, and some of us go one way, and right away we see that it's not the right way. We see it's going to a dead end. Some of us travel a certain path 20, 30, 40 years, and then all of a sudden we say, oh, we hit the dead end. But then there are certain people, they're called the tour guides. They already went through the maze. Now they're giving you the way to get through the maze, not based on someone who's inside the maze, but based on someone who's outside the maze looking inside. We're looking from inside the maze. We're saying, oh, which way do you go? I got to go. I have to experience things. The rabbis already brought in the books. They said, we already went through the maze. We figured the maze out for you. We're a tour guide. Here's the guide. You want to go through the guide? You want to go to... It's like, imagine you want to go to New York.
Guide?
Tour guide. Yeah.
Tour guide.
Yeah, tour guide.
Tour guide.
So you want to go to New York? Here's the map. You say, no, I don't want the map. I want to figure it out on my own. Okay, figure it out on your own. No GPS, no nothing. Go start walking. He's going to figure out how to go to New York. It's ridiculous, right? But the Torah, the rabbis already they give you the entire blueprint. Said here, follow the blueprint. That's all you have to do. What's the problem? We have to reinvent the wheel. Why reinvent the wheel? The rabbis gave us all the blueprint, all the information. What?
And you have to be humble too.
And you see, the place that we came from, we don't have that many laws, but people are more religious than people that are here, and we last longer.
That's our emunah, Baron.
It's okay. It's okay. That's okay. Again, okay. Anyway.
Baron.
Anyway.
What do you mean it's not different?
Baron, that's the emunah.
You read the law to follow the law, be a good person.
Again, we're going back to the I know you like this topic of good person.
If I get a driver's license and I'm a good guy, I'm like, I'm very nice, whatever, and as I'm driving, I go by a red light. I'm like, listen, officer, it was with good intentions. I didn't mean to, I
want to make it to the shul. They were waiting for me.
Yeah,
I was
right.
number 10.
Right, if you have the license to do this, it doesn't mean that I have the emunah to be a good driver. I have to follow the rules of driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Again.
We used to do it, and we don't have the problem.
I understand. Again, what we're saying is emunah. You could have great emunah, but how do you know if you have really emunah, real emunah?
Because we last for 2,500 years.
If you're following what God listen. Very simple.
You read the Torah to because the emunah, isn't it?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, but
in Iran,
Emunah is knowledge.
but
we had no
emunah, right?
knowledge in Iran. We had
But if you don't know the
before
laws,
everybody else.
but listen, if we listen, if we don't know the laws, right? If we don't
You
know.
don't have a law in Iran University?
We don't know anything.
Listen.
In Iran, no.
If we don't
How
have
we can last that long?
Because,
So let's put it that way.
because of the traditional,
God's kindness. That's how.
Traditional,
God's
Shabbat
kindness.
this and that. And Baram, in Iran, we had no Talmud, we had no Sidurs, we had only few, believe me.
Anyway, so back to Hod Shebahod. Okay, so again, we said that Hashem says, wow, what makes Torah so beautiful? It's not what I wrote, God says, it's what you wrote. And that's why Hod Shebahod, Hod, you should know, is we have if you're going to paste on Sukkot, right? So we have the first night is Avraham, second night is Yitzchak, Yaakov. What's that? It's Chesed Gvurot Tiferet, right? Then Netzach is Moshe. And the fifth night is Hod, is Aharon. Aharon, what's the level of Aharon? So Chazal tell us Moshe Rabbeinu is the idea of bringing down Torah Shebechtav. But what does it tell us when Moshe Rabbeinu went in front of Pharaoh? It says, you will go in front of Pharaoh, and Aaron will be your mouthpiece. He will speak for you. So from here, Chazal say, Aaron is the idea of Torah Sheba'al Peh. It speaks the love that is hidden inside Moshe, the Torah. So just like Aaron spoke the words for Moshe to express what Moshe was feeling, and so that everybody else could understand it, so too Torah Sheba'al Peh, which is what the rabbis were able to bring down with their chokhmah and with their anava, their humility. It expresses the love that is locked into every mitzvah, in every verse of the Torah. This is the Hod. And what's Hod Shebahod? Hod Shebahod is on Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer is 33, right? So we're on the 33rd day of the Omer, right? It also happens to fall out on the Ilulah of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So who was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the student of the one who stood as an example of Torah Sheba'al Peh, who is Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva is the one that we just said, 40 years old when he first started learning Aleph Bet. 40 years old when he first started learning. He ends up passing away at 120 years old.
120.
He goes to the yeshiva, and he comes back. His wife sends him to the yeshiva. He overhears her saying that if my husband would come back today, I would tell him to go back for another
20 years.
20 years.
He was a rough guy.
He heard this. He went back for another 20 years. He came back with 20,000 students. 24,000 students. 24,000 students. 24,000. He went 40 years old, not knowing Aleph Bet. He came back 24,000 students. The top notch of Torah. How did he do it? Hod shebahod. He realized opportunity is knocking at the door. He realized, he came to the conclusion, time is only opportunity. And if we don't utilize the time for Torah, then what do we have? Then what do we have? What, more money? Who's taking the money with them? What do we have? More cars? Who's taking the car with them? If we don't have Torah, then we don't have a relationship with Kadosh Baruch Hu. If we don't have a relationship with Kadosh Baruch Hu, then we're left to the nations. We're left to the nations. How is it possible that the Jews still survived? And you said here, the Jews survived. It wasn't our own. We didn't do anything. And this was Rabbi Akiva. Again, look at the things that Rabbi Akiva was mechadesh. Two things I want to tell you real quickly. Fish, the fish story, and the story of the wolves. What he says that Am Yisrael, the Jews are like a sheep surrounded by 70 wolves. And if the shepherd wouldn't have been there, the wolves would have attacked them easily, any second. This is the way Am Yisrael, this is the way he understood it. He said, if we are thinking that it's ever ourselves, the nations are a button away from destroying us, chas v'shalom. A button away. What stops them? God. So we should never think, we survived because of A. We survived because we were tzaddikim. Nothing. We survived because we emphasize that who are we? We are Yehudi. Yehuda. Yehuda is humility. That humility allows us to tap into Torah, which allows us to create a beautiful Torah, a beautiful Hod. And the second thing that he was mechadesh was that a fish out of water, right? A fox comes to the fish and tells the fish, come outside of the water and I'll protect you. He says, you foolish fox. I thought you were a smart animal. You seem to be a very foolish animal. You see, because if in the water the hunters are trying to get me while I'm in the water, which is my natural surviving place, how much more so when I'm out of the water am I going to be in danger's hand? And Rabbi Akiva says this is how a person is with Torah. If studying Torah, he still has a Yetzer Hara, he still has evil inclination, how much more so when he gets out of Torah and he's not studying Torah, will the evil inclination easily suck him up, easily eat him up? So we ended the second chapter now with the idea of understanding that a few things here. Opportunity of Torah, time management, but also appreciating that Torah is it is what we are. It is our essence. It is our water. Just like as fish lives in the water, so do we live in the Torah. And anything less than that, chas v'shalom, we're not surviving. We're not alive. We may look like alive, but we're actually the most dead. And this is why, again, we're coming into Pesach Sheni, the opportunity to understand that there's no mitzvah bigger than Limud Torah. And if a person is lacking the mitzvah of Limud Torah, there's a reason why. Does he really want it? Is he praying to go to learn Torah? Is he praying for it? He's praying for the parnasah. He's praying for the help. He's praying for the shidduchs, for everything else. Is he praying that he should be able to zoche, to learn Torah 24 hours as much as he can? To be able to utilize Torah, to be able to live Torah? Or is he praying that Hashem, I'm going to just clock in and clock out, yalla? How does he want to perceive it? And if he perceives it in that level, that Hashem, all I want is Torah. All I want is Torah. Then what he will get to humility, and that humility will allow him to open up channels of Torah. He will be an emphasis of Rabbi Akiva, and Rabbi Akiva's student. Like we spoke about, an artificial apple has no seed, but a real apple has seeds, has talmidim. And Rabbi Akiva's talmid, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, was the epitome of what you can do with Torah. You can open up Zohar. You can open up the levels of transcendences beyond human perspective. How can he obviously be able to do it? How can he survive? How can he do that? Because he realized that all Torah is beautiful. And that's why his Ilulah is on Hod Shebahod, is the beauty of the beauty. Beauty is when we have Torah Sheba'al Peh.